Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Funspark Ulti 2021. We've got the European regional play-in. Green Bay, this is one of the opening matches as Sinners attempt to topple Team 1. They did just that earlier, in which they took map 1 16-3. Now on 16-2 on Team 1's map pick. What good can they do in response? Well, Sinners, they're going for aggression. They push their way up from B. They get ready to attack these members who go for the double pop dog drop. PRT now the only man to try and hold from above pop as Team 1 executes towards the safe site. PRT good for one. Oscar falls. Zedco trays. He'll be able to pick up that CZ. Before he does, though, Malbs goes straight back up that ladder, finishes the job, down into a 4-on-3, and Team 1 with 2 sites under their control now.
Oh, nice headshot there from Neofrag. Brings things back into a 3-on-3. Not a bad start here from Team 1. But despite the fact that they've found the opening picks, they've not actually been able to get this bomb down. And as they're picked apart like flies, this is starting to fall away from them. Digits tapped in, but the retake already on its way. And Sinners with a man advantage. And still a kit and 2 flashes on Shock.
Well, there's a bit of damage done with Maluk shutting down Neofrag, and on the flip side, Shock will push his way on forward. He'll look to hold firm, and well, he can't quite do so for the time being. There's B-Stick trying to spam down as well. Good for one, doubles up onto Maluk. That's a nice shot, Josh. And with that, Sinners, they find their pistol round to get things underway.
Well, it's a big recovery there from Sinners, and even with that extra kit there on Shock, they didn't even use any of the util. Remember, they had 2 flashes and a smoke, and they just didn't even need to deploy them. As we go into this second round, Sinners, remember, they're on their CT side of a map that they're quite comfortable on, and it's Train, which is quite heavily favored over on their CT side. Beautiful couple of headshots there to finish off that pistol round, and Sinners, well, they're looking to get started here on this second map just as they left off Inferno. It was 16-3 over there. I'm not sure if this one's going to be just as one-sided, but Sinners really hope to make it that way. As we see rifles come out on every member, and Oscar actually down to an auto shotgun. I quite like that. It's always exciting to see these auto shotguns.
As I want to see it work. I really want to see them just push it to Oscar. And it's still deploy that nade to get things underway. Shot rings out, actually doesn't deploy that nade, holds firm. Let's see what pushes into him. And for Team 1 now, as they, for this eco, just slowly fan out around the map, they get ready for an attack. Oscar, you can almost hear the excitement he has, knowing that there are players who are about to dive into this XM10. As Malbs is the first one to do so. Any second now, we'll see this pick, and off the timing is just heartbreaking. While Neofrag is good for 1, he's ready for the follow-up push as he tags down Skulls as well. It goes down to a 4. Now, well, it's just sort of ignore what I said. Maluk's after standing, he should be killed pretty quickly, so it should lead 2-0.
It's a really clean round here as well for Sinners. The only man they've lost is, of course, Oscar, who had that auto shotgun. Wasn't able to have the success that I'm sure he was hoping for with it, and we actually see a quick disconnect. So I'm sure we will see a tech pause at the start of the next one. Oh, 2 players are gone. Oh, no. Oh, no.
They're moving her.
Boot camp as well, so that's not good.
That isn't good at all. A technical pause is called, kind of understandably so. Hopefully this isn't a long one. Hopefully this should be fixed pretty quickly. I'll quickly glance to see if we have news of what's happening. No, we don't. So, fingers crossed.
You should just join back straight away.
Oh, they probably just retried in console.
Easy.
Do you think it was a sensitivity bug?
Maybe.
Very well could be.
Chromax, I know.
You know that I know how to do it. All right. Well, if you want to fix the sensitivity bug, you can open Steam, go to your settings, go to the in-game tab, and uncheck the enable Steam overlay while in game, and that fixes your problem. The reason that problem happens is because if you shift tab quite a lot, when you alt tab and you've already shift tabbed, it will think your sensitivity in your shift tab is kind of correlated to your one in game, and it can really mess with it. So that's essentially what's happening. That's how you fix it. That's some friendly advice with Creme de la Creme.
Thanks, Creme de la Creme.
No worries.
It's not facts. You always seem to know the answers to how to fix all the bugs.
Here's the thing, I don't. A lot of the time, I only know because it's happened to me.
Ah, okay. Well, I just don't bother learning. I don't know.
Oh, right. Okay. 2 very different approaches then.
Yeah. Well, another opening round advantage here for Sinners as they kick off the round. I mean, this is a bit of a bonus. Yeah, they're not even running around with MP9s or anything. They've just still got the FAMASs. They're not in a position where they could have really upgraded to the M4s, so it's not like they've gone for a bonus out of choice. But you'd think that Team One would have a better chance in this round, given the fact that they're against some of those lesser premium rifles. And so far, they're not getting off to a great start. They've been spotted here in upper. Beautifully timed peek there from NeoFrag to find Skulls. And now a two-man disadvantage. Oscar being hit by that smoke. He has to fall away, but he's got support from NeoFrag, and that's just perfect.
Trades back and forth. Maluk good for one before he too falls. And with PRT left alone, what's scary actually with Maluk falling there, he's left it all for Oscar. And that is really scary considering how strong Oscar was with that AWP last game. He's just going to pick that up. And with that, Sinners, they're a hop, skip, and a jump away from making this a 2-0. Granted, it's early days, but if they're able to continue making rounds with this one-sided, I think Team 1 are going to be in a lot of trouble.
Absolutely, yeah, especially given the fact that those FAMASs have been able to upgrade to the AKs. So that kind of shaky buy in the last is now looking very, very scary. Zedko, the only man with the FAMAS left. Oscar's got that sniper. Shock, of course, upgraded to that one-hit headshot rifle of the AK-47. And Team 1, as they come into this round, they are not looking too great when it comes to the firepower side of things. Just the pistols, a little bit of Kevlar and a couple of members. And that nade, oh my, it absolutely destroys those two members that don't have any armor behind them. And the spam does the same. Pasadelo, before he's even been able to see anyone, before he's even been able to get close to a bomb site, he's already down to 17 points of health.
You're absolutely right. That stings pretty damn hard. And as NeoFrag goes aggressive, he spots out these early members. He'll look to line up a bit of a spray down, but Pesadelo comes out on top. It's so much damage done to them, but it's no kill. And this is going to give them a bit of a silver lining that they'll look to capitalize off. As we look over towards these next couple of members, we see Team 1 again stacked up towards the top of B, getting ready to fan their way down.
Well, a great start here from Sinners once again. Of course, NeoFrag did lose his life, but Oscar with this AWP, they're about to peek into him. There's the first, and he's going to drop right off. Doesn't want to overstay as well. Come here, he knows he's got Zedko there to support. He'll go for the re-peek on PRT, who I think was just looking at the ground. I'm not sure what his game plan was, but Maluk bounces back with a very snappy headshot. Zedko gone, and now he's looking to try and do some further damage. But as he gets to the re-peek, Oscar's there to eliminate with the sniper, and once again, Sinners have a very, very strong round.
As you mentioned, a perfectly strong round. And for Team 1, they've got to reinvest once again. Josh, I just am not feeling Team 1 right now. They really struggled on Inferno, and they're looking to do the exact same on Train, where Sinners, they just continue to rise above and beyond.
They really are, yeah. They're looking like a very strong side, and they're getting off to a much better start than we saw on Inferno as well. They kind of came in a little bit slow to Inferno, and then they started to pick it up after like round number 4, and that's where they were just unstoppable. Once they had that momentum, Team 1 just couldn't seem to shut it down. Whereas Sinners right now, they've gained this momentum right from the get-go, right from pistol round. They're already about to put themselves potentially onto a 5-0 start, and if that kind of momentum, that momentum-based win carries across into this map too, then this could be another very one-sided affair.
Absolutely right. It very well can be. And while we look over towards this next side of Team 1, they're a man down. They're struggling for an execution. They don't have map control. And I think that they're putting all their eggs in one basket and just going for a straight hit towards A. But Luke, he'll try to find an early pick with this ult, but he's being so methodical with this pick. He knows full well that Oscar is out hunting for him. And that could be, the scarier, as any second now, we'll see Team 1 get ready for this attack. And it looks like it'll be a bit of a split towards Ivy, putting a bit of pressure on Shock, who's had a relatively quiet game. Not because he's been missing shots, because no one's really come into him.
Yeah, it's kind of lack of opportunity, isn't it? He's literally 1-0, so he's not died at all. He has really just had lack of opportunity. We've seen Team 1 leaning towards that B site in the majority of these opening rounds. Finally, it looks like he might be challenged, and well, let's hope that he's not fallen asleep as the smokes rain in, and he's looking to dance around it. He's got support from his teammates elsewhere, but they're quite occupied. Oh no, that's not great.
It absolutely isn't. And now to a 4-on-4. Zedko ready for the attack. PRT full. Pesadelo to trade. And Miles makes sure that B-Stick doesn't get too ambitious with his trade as well. Now down to a 2-on-3, I apologize. And as NeoFrag tries to ring out a shot through that position, he can't find the kill. Neither can Pesadelo, though. And as he hides towards the center of this site, Oscar's going to get ready to peek into him. Does he do so? Or does he go a bit more passive? We're going to have to see. And, well, for the position known to Pesadelo, this should bait him a look to shut down NeoFrag and Oscar. Flips back and win save. Team 1 with the first round. It's found relatively quickly, so they're definitely able to pull it back. Now they just need to convert.
It's a good round from them. They need to make sure they don't lose too many members on the hunt. And Malbs is actually very, very quick to that headshot. He's kind of been the member. Him and Maluk have really, really been hitting their shots. It's the two M's that have been pulling ahead. And actually, in that Inferno game, whilst we didn't really see all too much from any of these members, Maluk was really that standout man, the only player that was really getting the kills. Sinners right now, they're still in this, still got quite a substantial lead. They're still in a position where they can go for an investment here. We see those rifles come out. We see Oscar pull out another sniper. The only contingency is be stick with that MP9. But I always find that if you've got multiple MP9s in a round like this, then it's a problem. You've got one MP9, and you can just put him on an information play over towards, like, aggressive towards, like, Pop Dog and things like that, and it works nicely. Oscar, that is a ridiculous play. The balls on this man to go for a peek like that is insane. The balls to go right down the ladder. Oh my goodness, Oscar, what are you doing right now? This is ridiculous.
He goes through the smoke as well to kill Skulls. Now as he deploys that flash, he's going to be able to regress onto anyone who comes into him. But Loki's almost scared to take this fight. Pesadello slowly shifting his way forward towards back line. He's going to have Shock to try and kill. He does just that. Turns around, he knows Zedko's there to worry about as well. The Zedko also falls. Now it's very doable. But Neofrag on an angle that might not be expected. As Maluk will try to clear close to him. He's unable to come out on top for the time being as it falls down to a 2-on-2. This duel between Neofrag and the All-Pro Maluk is single-handedly what will make or break this round. Pesadello, it's almost like a negligible position at this point. As Oscar, well, it wouldn't have mattered who shot him anyway because that kill to Neofrag should decide the round. And for Team 1, that's a beautiful recovery.
It really is, yeah, especially considering Oscar has just been on a tear this round. But you know what? Oscar might be able to pull this one off. He's found himself another shot. Pesadello is low on health, and the bomb, it's not planted for him. As Oscar taps it, he seems to have a perfect read on where he is, and I think he might just about have time on this. What a ridiculous round from Oscar. He has just flipped a switch, and I don't know what's just gone on in his brain there, but something's gone on, and he has just went insane. That was ridiculous. That was such an insane round.
What in the name of all that is holy was that? Oscar, he's just woke up and he's just decided, you know what? I really don't like Team 1. And he's about to show us, he's about to just take it out on them. Any pent-up anger he may have is about to be just unleashed. And he's probably going to be a calmer guy after this game. But, Lord, Josh.
Yeah. I mean, there's something about when you just have a little big adrenaline moment like that and you just make some crazy play that really kind of gets you going. Your adrenaline just goes up. Your whole team's morale goes up as well because, you know, just as well as I do, you're in the server, a big clutch happens and you're all going, let's go, like really, really hyped up. And off of the back of it, we're going to see Team 1 call a timeout. They're going to be quite on the opposite end of the scale of that one. They're going to be head in hand saying, how are we losing these rounds? Yeah, we had such a great recovery there. We had the C4 down. We should never, ever be losing a scenario like that. And we've made the mistakes. We've overfaced. We've peeked into this AWPer when we shouldn't be. And we've paid the price for it.
Well, Pesadello, he makes sure that B-Stick doesn't get too comfortable with that newfound position, and as he shifts forward, Shock instantly there to trade. And what I do like, though, is that even though these rounds have been won, they're pretty damn close, and it means that Team 1, they've been keeping the money of Sinners really damn low. He goes down to a 3-on-2, and as Team 1 just barrel their way ahead, this damage means that the second they win a round, it's straight to an eco, and it counts as double. But with rounds continuing to just spiral towards Sinners' control, they continue to just inch their way forward, getting closer and closer to that kind of one-sided half threshold, which is only going to be in about 2 or 3 rounds.
Well, here's that force buy from Team 1. Finally, their economy's broken, and with that, Sinners should actually be able to build up their own. You talked about the fact that despite the fact it was a 5-1 scoreline, they really didn't have too much cash to fall back on, whereas now they've got quite a bit, and on top of the fact that they've got quite a bit, as long as they can have a fairly clean round here against the Pistols, they should be able to extend that further. MP9 on B-Stick looking to get aggressive. He's got Zedko on one of his own. And Zedko, he's about to take an engagement here. Comes down to timing, and I think he's nailed it.
As they get ready for this attack, as these players barreling their way forward a few times now, as they just ring out a few shots to try to push their way ahead. The MP9 of Shock and Zedko ring true for 2 each, and for Malbs, he's left painfully alone. He'll try and make his way out this smoke, trying to catch out the odd member. But even then, what good could he hope to do, Josh, as he swarmed from all angles? B-Stick comes out on top. And at 7-1, I think we may have a very quick series on our hand.
We absolutely might. Yeah, this scoreline really starting to pull away at this point. 7-1, Kremer. Very, very reminiscent of what we saw over on Inferno. It's not too late here for Team 1. They could definitely turn this one around, but it's starting to slip away further and further. They're T-side on train, so you've got to remember, if they can pull back 3-4 more rounds here, it's not a terrible half, but that's becoming increasingly unlikely as the rounds move on. And Sinners, they continue to come out on top. A beautiful pop flash to open things up. No trade available, and Oscar, he knows it. He's just going to throw the smoke and fall away. A lot of discipline there to do that.
Well, Zedco Ulti are peeking towards A main as well, and as he gets ready for Pesadelo, he spots him out, but the AWP's the one to finish the job, and now we have Team 1 looking pretty hungry for a second, and with Malak going aggressive early on, Oscar's there to trade. The molly allows these players to get out from A main. Malb's also taking a substantial amount of damage, but he still survives nonetheless. Skull's finishing one, Malb's onto the second. Oscar now alone in a 1v4. He can do 2. I don't know if he can do 4.
Yeah, I mean, if he were to clutch something like this again, it would be insane, but surely he can't justify going for this. There isn't too much money in the Sinners bank accounts once again. I think he can maybe come in to connect, try and catch out one of these hunting members, try and do a little bit of damage, but to actually fly into the bomb site and try and clutch the round would be absolute suicide. So not falling away for miles away and saving, he is actually kind of staying relatively in the action, but it doesn't look like he's going to get any action, and Team 1 should be able to put their second on the board. It's not too late for a comeback, but they need to make sure that they do more than just win the single round.
I don't know if they can do more than that, Josh. I think that Team 1, despite how convincing this round has been, they're still losing members. Oscar, he's still dancing around the map, and in this kind of definitely waltz, he's still able to just take players, pluck them from life one at a time, and I just can't help but think that Team 1, yeah, that round was great, but is there repeatability in it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question, isn't it? We saw that round play out very similarly to the round that Team 1 almost won some time ago, where we just saw Maluk fly out onto the site, hit some nice shots, and kind of open up the doors. How often he can really do that, though, it is another question. Of course, everybody on Sinners right now firing on all cylinders. It only takes a lone bullet to eliminate the threat he poses. And as we see all of these nades, look at the utility usage from both sides right now. It's absolutely nuts. And as Malbs goes for a gamble spray, he can't connect the shot. Zedco's there to find it, but it is instantly traded. But we find ourselves in a 4-on-4, and the site control still for Sinners here as B-Stick will swing off of the contact of the plant.
Well, Beefstick good for one, Skull's there to trade, and while it goes into a 3-on-3, shot comes out on top, 3-on-2, and it's been a massively heavy utility usage, a fast round at that. With Neofrag spotting out PRT, he's unable to get the kill. Shock on the aggressive angle towards Heaven, he's going to try and cancel the plant, still can't quite do so. Oscar onto Maluk, forces PRT to be ready for the place to push into him, but through the smoke, he's got to be careful. Oscar comes out on top. Sinners now with an 8th, as they now lead 8-2, force Team 1 to an even worse position, in which Team 1, sure, they can reinvest, but to what avail? Sinners running circles around them as they look to reinvest and get ready for yet another attack.
Well, 8-2, Kremer. And as we were about to go into this 11th, it's going to be another hefty investment here for Team 1. AWP here for Oscar to work with, the rest on those rifles, and actually a fairly even Stevens buy. The difference is that Sinners have got a little bit of cash behind theirs, as we see Team 1 once again go for their default. Smokes go over the top, Malbs the Molotov, it's going to head towards Upper, and Oscar actually eliminates the peak that he was going to go for, which is interesting, because he hasn't gone for that peak all too often, so it could read there for Team 1.
Shock, while he is ready to spot out the first member, he's going to just be a bit more passive towards Ivy, and I think it's similar to how we saw Inferno, Josh, where 4 rounds, that's the aim you're going for, just to make it half winnable. Team 1, that should be what their sights are set on. I think anything more, and they're kind of risking getting extremely tilted if it doesn't happen. And for Skulls, as he gets ready to just peek over this initial ladder, hasn't quite caught out anyone just yet, as Sinners slowly makes their way forward, and they just get ready for an attack, but Team 1 congregating towards B, looks like the man who's going to have to watch out is going to be both Neofrag and Oscar. Oscar, he's a scary man to run into, Josh.
He really is, yeah. He's been very, very powerful on this AWP all day, and he kind of shows no signs of slowing down, so Team 1, very, very scared to walk into him.
Any second now, these volleys go down. The execution towards Ivy goes out. Oscar ready for the first. Misses the initial shot. Well, she doesn't miss. He legs down Skulls. His teammate swings. He's killed. And now Oscar with a bit of pressure on him. He knows full well that Maluk's going to be trying to plant that bomb, so that molly should prevent anything too substantial. The flash forces him away. The swing makes it harder for him. But as the push goes wide, Beastick comes out on top. The bomb now is in circulation. And with 15 seconds left, this is very damn scary. Pesadello's got to try and get to this site and plant in time. Even then, it might be a tough ask for him to do so. PRT on the flank to what avail. Skulls shows his presence. Beastick trades onto one before he too falls, leaving Zedco alone in a 1v2, but the bomb's not planted from PRT. He's panicked and killed his teammates. Also, Zedco is now going to tap that bomb. He's got a 10-second defuse on his way. And PRT, he's just going to swing into him. Zedco comes out on top.
What a read on that. That is unbelievable. That is absolutely unreal. Zedco, he realizes that he hasn't got the kit there. It's a full 10-second defuse. He's not going to be able to hold it. So he just lifts his head up. A beautiful headshot. What a messy round there from Team 1. And you're starting to see the frustration kick in. You're starting to realize that actually these guys, they're losing rounds. And off of the back of it, earlier on, they were losing rounds and they were close rounds. Yeah, they were rounds where they weren't necessarily making any mistakes. They were just losing their duels. Now, as the frustration starts to kick in and they get further and further down this rabbit hole, they are making a lot of mistakes and it's just very, very messy.
As they make their way forward, Team 1 now. I'm still blown away that PRT just randomly kills his teammate, loses the round. Like, that is, we see aggression ready for them to burst out from Pop Dog. Doesn't matter. Beastick close A main, good for one. He's going to be ready to double up as well as they push into him. We'll put that on smoke to try and duel Pesadello. He does come out on top, but elsewhere, Zedco's killed 2 of his teammates. He'll try to make it 3 of Skulls already low on HP, as he'll try to hold. It's still a 3-on-2. Skulls puts it down to a 2-on-1 before Neofrag trades, doubles up, and provides Sinners with 10. And Josh, this is just so horrific.
It really is, isn't it? It's really starting to fall apart now for Team 1, and you can see their buy rounds are starting to just become messier and messier. Right now, they've not really got the money to justify a proper investment. We'll probably just see pistols come out from these guys going into the 13th, and that's exactly it. Pistols all round, mouths with that hero AK. We see this more and more often nowadays, and if it doesn't work out for him, he's going to be the only one next round with a Galil or an SMG to work with. Team 1 desperate to try and get something to work for them right now. And Oscar peeking up towards Heaven, should be able to win this duel. Absolutely does. The only AK, the only rifle on the server eliminated. Skulls can retrieve it, but still the man disadvantage.
It works perfectly for Sinners. They're able to get the man advantage. Just double down with Beastick responding onto Pesadello. The follow-up push from Zedco now carrying towards Under Heaven. He knows full well that Team 1 have to aggress somewhere. And while the Brazilians, they cower, they wait. And with no attack coming just yet, we see Oscar looking to get another kill. They tease his shoulder beat. They don't follow up with anything more, though. I think they see him and go, oh, God, he's still there, and back away a little bit. Oscar, here comes the re-aggression. He knows that they've got top B control. Good for one. Skulls to trade, but in a 4-on-2, what a hope does that provide? Shock flanking towards A main, knows full well that's going to be hit towards B, and with the Sinners side, this Czech Super Titan just pulls their way down towards B. We see the rotation of Beastick as well, and now with 45 seconds to spare, I think Team 1 are going to be a rock in a very, very damn hard place.
Yeah, frag on the angle. Millimeters away from spotting out Skull's feet, and he's got a huge advantage in this engagement. Both players drop down. He can't find both, but his teammate's there to support. And whilst Maluk can hit himself a single shot, he can't get a whole lot more than that. It's 11-2 here for Sinners, as they are absolutely steamrolling the Brazilians. And it looks like Team 1, they're just running out of options. You can see every single round they go from kind of at the start, they had these plans in place. They had these, what were you saying, the difference between a strategy and
tactics.
What was the other one? Tactics. They had all of these tactics, yeah? And you could see there was structure to their rounds. And now it seems like they've run out of ideas, and they're just running into this dry. They're trying to win these duels. They're trying to go for the double picks, desperate to pick apart these snipers, and they just can't do so.
I'm so proud of you, Josh, for being able to use the 2 words to you instantly. Shocky goes aggressive towards Ivy. That's a really nice position on PRT. He dodges the flash by hiding there. He's able to re-aggress, and now for the first time in a while, it's a man advantage for Team 1. Instantly negated by Neofrag, who almost finishes off Malbs as well. A well-timed nade is all it takes to stop this attack. And Team 1, realizing that they've got to attack somewhere, push their way forward. But Beastick, he's gone aggressive up from Pop Dog. Pesadello falls. He switches to the AK, turns back around. There is a flank onto him from PRT, but to what avail? He's still back to A main. He doesn't actually opt to go towards B. Instead, we see him drop down and pop, and Beastick, the fact he's able to get alive is an insult to Team 1, besmirching their B holes. And with a 3-on-4, I think Team 1, they've got to get this kill on Beastick. Otherwise, this is round end. Wow. That it is. Quick kill. Aggression from the Neofrag didn't stand Malak. Down to just 1 HP. The flash pushes its way over, and it's a missed shot. Malak punished by Oscar, leaving Malbs alone. 1-on-4. Here comes the flash. Here comes the attack. Here comes the round. 12-2. Sinners now lead as they force Team 1 to an awful position.
It's absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, let's be real, Beastick has been blessed with timing there. He's obviously got a fantastic read on his opponents, but at the same time, I can't help but feel he got quite lucky with both of those duels, turning away just before he peaked. However, the discipline to fall right back away and get down Pop Dog is incredible, because it means that Team 1, in a scenario where they're about to go for a B hit, they've now got pressure from behind. They don't know if there's a flank that's about to pounce on them, and therefore they have to go back, they have to clear showers. It becomes this big old task that they didn't have to do previously. And right now, as they bomb into this A site, this is looking like it's about to be a 13-2 half Crema. This is unbelievable. An absolute bloodbath here.
It's not even a bloodbath, it's just a slaughter. Team 1, they went into this game expecting a potentially close affair, expecting a chance to really show their worth, but it has been Sinners start to finish. We're at the end of the first half with Sinners leading 13-2, moving to their T side. Team 1, if they don't get this pistol round, I'm sorry to say, it's over.
It absolutely is, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, it's probably over anyway. You can see these guys, they're pretty defeated right now. But you're right, without the pistol round, there's really, really no hope. If they can take it, then there's a very, very small opportunity. But 13-2, it's definitely past the point of no return. They need an absolute miracle to come in. Otherwise, they are down and out of this series in quite a convincing fashion. And the thing is, as well, is it's not even like they're able to play against Lyngby Vikings, who they'd expect to be the easier opponents playing that lower bracket. They have to play against Movistar Riders, which is going to be really, really tough.
Yeah, absolutely right. Down to an instant 4-on-4. There's a trade there. Malak's going to try and get aggressive. Tries to tap down Beastick. That is so messy. Beastick turns 180. He finishes the job as it falls to a 4-on-3. Team 1 in a very, very tough spot. Both of them just trying to catch out the odd member, but catching out the odd member, sure, it evens out the man count and doesn't win you the round. And as Sinners get ready for a bit of a showing towards A, we see a single smoke, a single flash in the arms of Shock. He's going to be ready to assist his team on their flank, and it's Sinners with this control towards Ivy. They can go wherever they want. Team 1, they've rolled the dice a little bit and gone for this B stack. Unfortunately, the timing is just heartbreaking, and as Sinners make their way forward, they're going to have every opportunity to push forwards away and get that plant pretty much uncontested.
Absolutely, yeah, they've got the man advantage. They've got all of the control in the world with it. And of course, as they walk over towards this A site, they should be able to take it for free. Team 1, they've rolled the dice once again. They've gambled towards this B site stack, and it's not paid off for them at all. This C4, it will go down. And Team 1 on the retake with no utility. I just don't understand how they can get this one done. The C4, it's still not gone down yet. I think Sinners, they're clearing all of these angles, just making sure that nobody swings to deny it. They're quite confused at this point, and I think now Oscar's realized, and finding that headshot definitely just cements this one.
Both PRT and Skulls, they're going to have to play out of their minds on this retake to try and win this. Neofrag on the close angle, he'll be their first test, and he proves to be a tough one. Skulls trades, sure, it goes down to a 1-on-3, but with the kits, sure, there's that air of, chance, but it's only chance. And as Beastick finishes the job, that'll be his third of the round. Sinners, they now lead 14-2 as they force Team 1 into a very, very shaky buy, an awkward spot where they have to force, but if they lose this, they're both simultaneously being reset and thrust to match points.
Well, 14-2, Crema. I honestly, didn't think that this map could be any more one-sided than Inferno. Inferno was Sinner's pick, of course, and it was 16-3. This is Team 1's map choice. And yeah, we were just like, this will probably be a Sinner's map win, but there's surely no way that it can be any more one-sided than their own pick of 16-3. And apparently, it can be. It's really shaping up that way. We see a really shaky force here from Team 1. And of course, if it doesn't work out for them, it's going to be an equally as shaky force in the next. 2 quick kills go Sinner's way. That's going to open up the B-bomb site for business. And while Pasadello can't connect the headshots, B-Stick's going to eliminate him. And now a 5v2 and match point and series point available here for Sinners.
What is bear in mind as well is that granted the frag's low on HP, this can be equalized, but I say can with quotation marks over it. Skull's the last man left standing, scout in hand. He's got armor to back it up, so saving would be really favorable for him. But it looks like he's just going to be hunted by Zedco. He'll swing wide. He's actually legged down. Zedco expect him to be at the wrong spot, and as Skulls desperately tries to run away, he's swarmed from all angles, and he's summarily executed as Sinners lead 15-2. They really give us a horrifically one-sided affair. Team 1, with just Eagles coming out now, are going to attempt to stop the Czech onslaughts. But even then, Josh, I can't help but think that they're just a fleeting chance.
Absolutely, yeah. Trying to hold on to that scout, desperate to carry it across into the next so that he can put some Kevlar behind it. He does actually buy himself another here, but yeah, it means that he doesn't have too much utility. And once again, it's a couple of scouts and a couple of Deagles to try and topple Sinners. They need 13 consecutive rounds to take this one to OT, and I think just about everybody at this point are fully anticipating this one not to happen. Of course, PRT jiggling this angle, wanting to spot out the man, and he does actually see him, takes a tiny tickle of damage. Off the back of it, will call for the scout to swing. The smoke goes down. And Team 1, I just don't see what they can do here. Sinners, they're kind of toying with their food right now, aren't they? Instead of just pushing right in, they are still playing disciplined Counter-Strike exactly as they should be. And as soon as they pounce, you know the outcome.
You're absolutely right. And what's interesting for Team 1 is while they do try to just worm their way forward, do you want to hear a horrific statistic, Josh?
Go on.
4 of Sinners members have over 100 ADR right now. That is just insane. And they're going to show us why in just a moment as PRT spots these players out towards Ivy. B-Stick just shifts his way forward on B, though. PRT good for 1. He'll try to double up onto Oscar. Tags him down, but B-Stick's there to equalize. Down to a 4-on-4. B-Stick with control towards B now is going to go straight into that back line. He's going to infiltrate the Team 1 to its deepest core. And as he tries to get into CT, he might be able to give them a very tough run for their money as he'll make his way towards A. He might even be able to finish off Pasadello now, who just... Is he blessed by timing? Yes, he is. B-Stick, quick little kill. With his second of the round, he has just wreaked havoc onto the Team 1 backline. PRT aggressing, caught out by Oscar. Skulls, he too is going to be spammed down. He does survive, though, for the time being, but Luke certainly doesn't, though. It's all on Skulls, alone in a 1 versus 4. He desperately tries to catch out the odd player, but even then, it's just a... impossible task. We'll turn his attention towards Con. Oscar tags him down. 4 HP remaining. Oscar comes out on top. As Sinners, they give us one of the most one-sided series I've ever seen in my life. They pummel Team 1, and they rise ahead to a very one-sided victory.
Especially considering that this should have been a fairly contentious match. It wasn't like we're seeing a tier 1 team playing